Northwestern basketball continues the hot start to the season. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Northwestern, your daily podcast on the Northwestern Wildcats, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in. This is Locked On Northwestern, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Carter Byrd, and thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen today. For anything and everything Northwestern, we really appreciate it. We're available wherever you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. We're also available on YouTube. Just search Locked On Northwestern and you can find us. Wherever you listen, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications. You don't want to miss an episode. Make sure you leave a comment, give us some feedback. We're trying to make the show better at all times. Today's show is also brought to you by LinkedIn. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnCollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. All right, so let's jump right into it. Biggest game of the year so far for Northwestern on the road against Georgetown. Well, they come up with a 75-63 victory. They are now 3-0, and what a start right now out the gate. This is a big one to build some momentum going into what could be an interesting week for this Northwestern basketball team. Both of our picks on the game actually ended up hitting. Northwestern covered that -1.5 line, and the under 147.5 hit. You know, BetOnline has to be hating us for those two picks right there. Northwestern, look, they jumped out to a quick start out of the gate. They got up 9-2 thanks to 3 quick threes. Then they kind of went cold for the rest of the first half. They finished the half just 10 of 35 from the field for 28.6%. They were 36 for 18 also from three for 33% as well. And, you know, what allowed them to hang in that first half was the fact that they grabbed 13 offensive rebounds and allowed them to score 33 points. They were able to hang in there and only go to half down 2 points in this one. And that was key because, look, they woke up a little bit in the second half, but in that first half, they out-rebounded Georgetown 26-19. They shot you saw Georgetown shoot 20% better than Northwestern, but you did have 13 second chance points for Northwestern to Georgetown's 4. You also saw 18 bench points in that first half for Northwestern, and turned out to be pretty significant for this in this game, and especially in that first half. When you have a Georgetown team that is shooting the ball a little bit better, you need to hammer the glass. You need to have those bench points, have that role elsewhere where you can keep a game close when you're not shooting the ball well early. Well, coming out of half, Northwestern got red hot. They were 17 of 32 in the second half, 53.1% from the field, 8 of 15 from 3, 53.3% from downtown. Out-rebounded Georgetown 22-12 in this as well. 5 more second chance points, flipped the script, and dominated in the paint. In the first half, Georgetown won the paint battle 14-6. In the second half, Northwestern kind of flipped that script and got up to 18-10 in the second half on points in the paint. Outscored Georgetown 42-28 in the second half. Northwestern for the game was 27 of 67 for 40.3%. They were 14 of 33 from downtown, 42.4% from three. And they after Georgetown was a much better 48% from the field in the first half, they only shot 35.7% in the second half and were 3 of 10 from three rather than 4 of 12 for 33% in the first half. So that Northwestern defense got back on track and made it a lot more difficult for Georgetown in the second half, holding them to 42% from the field, 31.8% from three, and only really putting Georgetown to the line 10 times where they made 8 of those shots. They did turn them over 13 times. Northwestern had 15 turnovers, turned it over a little more than you would like. But I do think that the fact that Northwestern dominated the boards so effectively in this game, they out-rebounded Georgetown 48-31, plus 17 in the rebound total. They were plus 13 on offensive rebounds, 20-7, and plus 4 on defensive rebounds as well. Because you were plus 13 on the offensive glass, second chance points were 20-6. Bench points 24-15. They both teams tied with obviously 24 points in the paint. And look, I mean, even assists, like Northwestern had 18 assists to Georgetown's 11. They passed the ball better. They thoroughly dominated the game, especially in the second half, because like they were 1.313 points per possession in the second half when they really started to fill it up and dominate the game. Heck of a start. They trailed for 8 minutes and 17 seconds of this game, and they led for 26 minutes and 10 seconds in this one. Of course, the last 5:34 the game was tied of that 40 minutes, but it was an impressive win. Chris Collins' team, hot out the gate here, really encouraged as things are only going to get tougher, but your first big test against a really revamped Georgetown roster. You go on the road, you handle the environment, you're playing on a national stage on FS1, and you go out and you perform at a high level. And that's what you like to see out of this Northwestern team that is going to have a chance here over the next few weeks to really make a statement early in this season. But I was encouraged. The team stats were awfully positive in Northwestern's favor if they continue to hammer the glass like that and play good defense. And if they stay hot from three, they're going to be a tough nut to crack for a lot of teams, a tough out for a lot of teams. In just a second, we're going to kind of start going through the stat lines of the guys that got out there today. Kind of all of them for different reasons had different kind of standout performances, and we will cover that in just a second. But first, let's talk about our friends at LinkedIn. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. Just add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. That's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnCollege. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnCollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Also, we want to thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen today. For your second listen, check out Locked On Sports Today. From the games that mattered the most to the biggest stories in sports, go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts and insights only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports Today, available on this app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. All right. Let's dive into the individual standouts. We're going to kind of start with the people that went out and scored the most, and that starts with Chase Audige, 17 points in this one. Thought he got hot early from three, and that helped kind of hang Northwestern around in this game. 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, played 28 minutes in this one, was plus 12 on his plus minus. Was 6 of 16 from the field. Still not great there. Shooting a lot of shots, which is why you're seeing the point total a little higher. 37.5% from the field, but was 4 of 9 from 3 for 44.4% from deep. 1 for 2 at the line, obviously for 50%. That's one thing I did notice in this game. Northwestern did not really get to the line a ton. You would like to see that. I think they got to the line exactly 0 times in the second half as well. Boo Buie, he had 12 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists, played 32 minutes. Most minutes on the team, I do believe, was plus 15 on his plus minus. 5 of 15 from the field, just 33.3%. 2 of 6 from 3, 33.3% as well. Again, your two guys there, your two guys, which if you listen to the broadcast, the two guys that drive the engine for this Northwestern basketball team, shooting a lot of shots. Percentages are still not quite where you would like them to be. Next up, Robbie Barron, the guy who's been the breakout through the first 2 games, 11 points, 7 rebounds, did not have an assist, but had 2 blocks. He played 29 minutes in this one. He was plus 9 on his plus minus. 4 of 12 from the field, just 33.3%, but was 3 of 6 from deep as he continued his hot shooting from deep. He's been really, really good from out there. 50% in this one. You will take that. I think he's been above 50%, I think, every single game this year. Ty Berry next, 9 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, played 25 minutes. Something I did like in this one, and I will make note of this. The minutes were a lot better, a lot more spread around. You saw the rotation get deeper as this team's kind of gotten into a groove. I did appreciate that. But Ty Berry had 9 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, played 25 minutes, was just plus 1 on his plus minus, but was 3 of 8 from the field, 37.5%, 3 of 8 from deep. So every shot he took was from deep, but that's what you would expect from somebody who kind of has been one of the leaders from deep for this team. Next up, Brooks Barnheiser, 9 points, 3 boards, did not have an assist, but showed his defensive presence with 4 steals on the defensive side. He played 22 minutes, was plus 3 on his plus minus, 3 of 6 from the field for 50%. 1 of 2 from 3, 50% as well, and 2 of 2 at the line, making all of his free throws. Next up is a personal favorite of mine with how he started this year on his limited minutes. He's been pretty efficient on the offensive end. Matt Nicholson, 9 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, and 1 steal, making his impact felt in his 19 minutes of play. Is -2 on the plus minus in this one, which does not, I guess, technically tell the full story. It just may have meant that this Georgetown team got hot while he was on the court. 3 of 5 from the field for 60% and was 3 of 6 at the line. You'd like to see those numbers get a little bit higher as well. Julian Roper, the second, 6 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, and a steal. 28 minutes of play, was plus 5 on his plus minus. 2 of 3 from the field, 66.7%. 1 of 2 from 3, and 1 of 2 at the line. If he can continue to give you a well-rounded stat line, that's a huge help for this Northwestern team looking forward. And then finally, the stat line that may have snuck by the most people, but I did find one part of it pretty interesting. Titus Verhoeven, 2 points, 6 boards, 1 assist, played 18 minutes, had the team high plus 17 on the plus minus out there. 1 of 2 from the field on his 2 shot attempts. That's how the team played. Everybody that played significant minutes, your starters and your bench players, which, as we noted, the bench players played a key role, putting up a bunch of points in this one. I believe the bench, let me find the exact number for this one. The bench was plus 9 on the Georgetown bench, putting up 24 of the 75 points. You will take that every time. And that's kind of how this team played. I was impressed. Got to watch how they came out of the gates on the road. Thought they handled themselves well. They adjusted well at halftime. The defense got better. The shooting got better. The offense got better. They continued to crash the boards. And you're able to come out with a pretty decent win against a Georgetown team that I'm confident is going to be better than last year when they went 6-25, 0-19 in conference play. I think they will be a lot better this year. They may not be that tournament team that Georgetown was a few years ago, but I think that they will be a lot more competitive in their conference. Just a second, we're going to take a look forward at what's coming up because there is a game on Friday, I do believe, and we will talk about that in just a second. But first, let's talk about our friends at BetOnline. BetOnline is your number one source for sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds and trends for every professional and amateur league out there. From football to basketball to soccer and esports, we've got it all at BetOnline. And if you love sports podcasts, you can find those at BetOnline as well. We're always the fastest and easiest way to get your betting fix. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, well, let's jump into kind of where this sits moving forward. Kind of an update on where this Northwestern team stands to this point in the season. They are up to 58 in the KenPom after these first 3 wins. Chance to move up maybe over the next couple of weeks as well. They're number 46 in the RPI, up 56 spots since the last time it was updated. Actually, potentially, they are 1 spot ahead of a team that they may run into next week in Auburn. Next up, this team has Purdue Fort Wayne at home on Friday. The game's at 7 p.m. at Welsh Ryan Arena. It's going to be on the Big Ten Plus, I guess on the Fox Sports app. It's also going to be on WGN Radio 720 for the radio broadcast. Purdue Fort Wayne this year is 2-1. The number 159 in the KenPom and number 151 in the RPI. They lost 75-56 to Michigan earlier this year in their season opener. Then they won 81-76 against SIUE. And then they won 111-31 against Manchester. Whatever Manchester is. I've never heard of Manchester until I looked up, did some research into this Purdue Fort Wayne team. Against Michigan, they shot just 29.6% from the field, 23.7% from 3. Bobby Planutis led the team with 13 points, 12 boards, and 2 assists in that one. Quentin Morton Robertson is going to be a guy to keep an eye on. He had 15 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 1 steal against that Michigan team. Against SIUE, they were 42.9% from the field, 44.8% from 3, so a much, much better performance from deep for sure. Damian Shonqui. He had 18 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. Deontay Billups, 18 points, 5 boards, 1 assist, 1 block. Jared Godfrey, 17 points, 9 boards, 3 assists, 3 assists and 1 steal. And then Bobby Planutis, 13 points, 4 boards, 2 steals. And Rock Petty, 10 points, 9 boards, 1 assist, 1 block, and 2 steals. Then against Manchester, they had 6 players in double figures. I'm not going to dive into them all. Quentin Morton Robertson had 26 points, was 8 of 9 from deep, and 9 for 11 from the field. So he's somebody you got to keep your eye on if he's going to fill it up like that from deep. Deontay Billups and Bobby Planutis were both 4 of 5 from 3 and scored, I think, 15 and 14 points respectively. As a team in that game, they shot 55.7% from the field and 58.3% from deep. They were 21 of 36, which is just a ridiculous number. As a program, look, this team has not been to the NCAA tournament, the Division I tournament, that is. They did make a 93 appearance in the Division II tournament. They were the Summit League regular season champions in 2016 and the 2022 regular season Horizon League champions last year as well. Their head coach is John Kaufman, who's in his 7th season at Purdue Fort Wayne. Under him, they are 140 and 113 with a 55.3% winning percentage, or a 553 winning percentage. He won the 2016 Summit League Coach of the Year and the 2022 Horizon League Coach of the Year. This team has several, CIT and CBI appearances and has a 2016 NIT appearance. It's a program that I think is pretty solid. But it'll be interesting to see how they respond after winning the regular season, but not winning the conference tournament last year and missing out on that potential NCAA tournament bid. I think it'll be a good first test of this Cancun challenge. It is the campus game for Northwestern in Evanston at Welsh Ryan Arena. I do think that it'll be a lot of fun. And then next week, you get one of these fun tournament trips down to Cancun for the Cancun Challenge, and a chance to play Liberty, and then the winner of Bradley, or winner or loser, depending on how that game against Liberty goes, against Bradley or Auburn. It'll be interesting to see how Northwestern handles that tournament. Looking forward to that. But that's probably going to do it for today's episode. Thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen. For your next listen, make sure you check out the Locked On Sports Today podcast, the biggest stories of the day, plus instant reactions, big game recaps, and the take of the day, available on the Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. We really appreciate you tuning in. We're available wherever you get your podcasts as well, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. We're also on YouTube. Just search Locked On Northwestern and you can find us. And hey, make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications. You don't want to miss an episode. Give us some feedback. We're trying to make the show better at all times. That's going to do it for today. I'm your host, Carter Byrd. You can follow me on social media at CarterByrd13, and I will see you all next time.